It's the Luke Howard Show, and guess what? It's not live, but it's recorded, so please welcome Luke Howard! Thank you very much, thank you. What a lovely audience you are. Such a lovely, kind audience, as every day I get it. I get it 6 days a week, and I absolutely love it. So I want to thank the audience very, very much for their round of applause, as always. Warning, it is Wednesday the 29th of April 2020. Lovely to have your company as usual. It's a bit grim out there today, and they say it's going to be a bit grim over the next couple of days. Now, yesterday was a very grim day. Yes, I went out in the rain. It was pouring it down yesterday, and it wasn't very nice. It was a bit It was a bit grim, and it wasn't very nice. But it's set to be over for a couple of days. Apparently, we're going to be having it. So the weather forecast isn't going to be great, but don't worry, it's quite good in a way, because it's good for the plants, it's good for the garden, it's good for the environment, and of course, it's very good for us, because we've had that heat wave, haven't we? So it's quite nice to get it and have it. So it's very good. So today is a very special day. It's Shrimp Scampi Day today. So it gives us a tasty way to celebrate on this day, and we all honour this delicious dish of shrimps, which is, scampi. It's cooked with butter, garlic, lemon juice, and white wine. And I've tried this before. It's a very, very nice dish. It's like a fish sort of stir fry sort of thing. It's really nice. It's easy to prepare. Just go online and just search shrimp scampi, and then you'll have a big recipe on there, and then you'll do it. I did it the other day. It was very, very nice. It's garlic butter, and I think it's a wholly decated buttery garlic and lemon and wine. It's basically that, really, and a little bit of decoration and stuff like that. And you have to use fresh or frozen shrimp. You can use either of it. A bit of cooking on the show by the sound of it today. And you can serve it the dish and add a side of noodles or rice. And you can steam vegetables with it, or you can have it with crusted bread or rolls. So shrimp scampi pairs well with white wine, since this dish is light. Now, a rich dessert of cheesecake or creme de la creme, or in other words, creme brulee. You can have that for dessert, and apparently it's very nice to have that for the main course and have creme brulee for dessert. So it's very, very nice. I'll find another national day for in a bit, and then I'll see if I can talk about it later on the show. So we've got lots to get through, as usual, on the show. Every single day we have a lot of stuff to get through, don't we? Every single day. So, so lots to get through. Okay, so we're talking about sports. We're going to start by talking about sports today, because top sports promoter Barry Hearn has promised to lead sports' great escape from lockdown. So Hans has already launched the Professional Darts Corporation Home Tour this month, and earlier this week he announced that dates to stage the postponed World Snooker Championship. Now, the game's Blue Ribbon event should be being played now in Sheffield about this time of the year, and despite the virus. So they've been working, and it has been able to, agree, and new dates of July the 31st and August the 16th for the 17th day. So tournaments are to take place at the Credible Theatre. In my 45 years, he said, in sport, that is the most complicated scenario that I have ever come up with against admitted harm. It's time for character resolve and to find the determination to get the job done as quickly and as safely as possibly as we can. We're doing everything we can to come up with ideas to keep players earning in a safe environment, which is true. And I think this is rugby or football. I'm not quite sure what it is. It's one of them, but so very interesting. We'll have to do a little bit of research on that story and see what we can find. Okay, so we're going to move on from that now, because I want to talk about care homes and care home deaths. I know this sounds very depressing today, a lot of depressive things to get through, but after that we're talking about Chris Packham after this story, so be prepared. So the majority of all COVID-19 revealed that deaths in Hertfordshire, our local area, have been residents in care homes, and it has also emerged that new data from the county council suggests that 172 care home residents have died from presumed or COVID-19 either in political hospital at their home. This means that care home residents will account for the majority of 254 COVID-19 hospital deaths that have been recorded in Hertfordshire. The lack of COVID-19 tested outside hospitals means that there is no no accurate measure of the number of care home residents in the county who could be infected with the virus. But the county council data, which runs from March the 20th to April the 17th, is the strongest indication yet of the prevalence of the virus in the county's care home sector. So, County Council Executive Member for Adult Care Services, Clive Richard Roberts, says that he is very worried by the levels of the virus in the county's care homes, which are predominantly run by the private sector, who he points to the dedication of highly skilled and competent care home staff, who he says have really stepped up to the plate. But he says that their needs is to be conservation involving care homes, the county council, and of course the NHS, about how care home residents can, and of course, best be protected in a longer term. And it's a sad fact that our care home residents are the most vulnerable. Now, you come on my road, go down the bottom, round the side of the high street, down the road, keep going right there down to the bottom. There's a care home down there. It's called, can't remember what it's called. It's called Leiston Grove. It's called Leiston Grove. Now, they're very good people there. They're very honest. I know a lot of people who work there. And I met a lady on a bus a few months ago, and she was telling me all about it and saying what it's like at the moment. She said she does nights there, and she was telling me on the bus that it's good, but we get a lot of this sort of stuff going on, she said. And of course, I must say, Sean, morning Sean, if you're listening, great friend of mine. She gets on the bus with me. We all have a little chat on the bus. There's a group of us. And we talk about this, and she was telling me all about it. So I know a lot of people who work for Leiston Grove, which is a care home around the corner from here. So, so I'm quite interested in this story. So, of course, they are the most vulnerable, as I said, because of their age and some of the physical complications of their health. He said that my heartfelt, sympathies to go to the families who are losing loved ones in their care homes and who cannot be with them at all. So Clive Roberts says that Cliff caring for Hertfordshire's 8,000 care homes residents are giving the best possible care, and it's even helping families to come medicate with residents by video link, but with no vaccine or treatment for the virus imminent. Clive Roberts says that there now needs to be a conversation. Sorry, that is the right word. I'm just rushing too hard. That's why I can't read it right. But about the best care and prevention for the future. So the coronavirus isn't going anywhere though, and it's anytime soon, because there is no vaccine and no treatment. He said that we've had to explore every possible way to protect residents and staff, of course. And how do we protect our residents who haven't got coronavirus, and how do we look after those that do? And it's a bit of protect residents and staff, and the county council has already worked with care homes to find ways to separate residents with COVID-19, and they have been taking steps to ensure staff that access to personal protection equipment, PPE, including masks, gowns and gloves, and we will do everything that we can to do that they've been saying after them, because they are doing everything to look after their residents. That's what Clive Roberts has been saying about the care home. And there's a picture on my script of and it says that Richard Roberts in set has raised, of course, a lot of money and concern over the number of COVID-19 deaths in the county's care homes. And we're going to leave that story there now, because I want to move on. I haven't really got. All I just hope with that other story, all I just hope is the one about the care homes. The only thing about that I can say is I hope we get a vaccine, and I hope we get it very, very soon, because the way they're going at the moment is taking not much time. But Boris Johnson is back, and I'm sure he will do as much as he can to see if we can get a vaccine very, very soon. Okay, let's lighten up the mood a bit, because I want to talk about Chris Packham now. He's an amazing presenter. Amazing. Now, he's a naturalist. He's an amazing bloke. Presents all the natural programmes on the BBC, and I think some on ITV as well, but I think it's mainly BBC. Now, there's a poster that's been got up of a boy for poster animals. Now, Chris Packham says that Britain's interest in listening to the experts. Experts, what they know during the coronavirus crisis could help save endangered wildlife. So, the BBC Springwatch presenter hopes that the world will adapt a different approach to saving the planet once the pandemic is over. So he's 58 years old, and he said that we're listening to experts on the daily and nightly basis with essential information about, combating this virus. So I'm hoping this will lead to the longer. I think he's basically just saying his view on it, I think, or his view on what's going on at the moment. But he said, when we see far more experts called to the podium to give us good sound and tried and tested advice, he said that the past few months have proved is that when we have to change, he said, and we can all do those exercises about why we can't tackle climate change urgently and are in many ways looking redundant now. All those missing millions that weren't available to do this and that are suddenly available, and that just proves that as a species have the capability to implement change quickly. And he said, I don't want to go back to normal, I want to go to a new normal where we've learned a harsh and horrible lesson, he's been saying. And Packham has also been speaking ahead of his new BBC series, which is Primates, which sounds very exciting. And he described it as a blue chip TV, and he said that they've done an amazing job of making Primates beautiful, as well to indulgent and educational, would you believe. Now, they're basically poster animals and got lemurs, and they're not got spiders and monkeys and the humour and entire brand of the Primate group, and I'm sure that would have been a strong selling point, he said. So there's a movement now to focus more on these shows, and that one does the one I present. And the programme also deals with conversation was the word I was looking for. Conversation, just can't say it right. Conservation. In the past, TV has been criticised of not confronting conservation and showing that these sort of content aptiles. Now, Packham regularly makes headlines, which is fortnight views on wildlife conservation, with the struggle with Asperger's, which saw him preserve. I'm not sure what I've got, and his dog in a freezer when he couldn't come to terms with its death. He said, I think I have a voice and therefore feel compelled to exercise and that voice to create a change, and my passion is changing conservation and the environment. I don't think if I were to certain silent and I'm not doing my duty, I wake up in the morning to make a difference, not specifically to make TV programmes. So Primates starts BBC One, and it was on Sunday. Actually, no, it started on Sunday at 8:15, and it continues again this Sunday at 8:15 as well. You can get it on BBC One, or you can get it on BBC iPlayer if you want to catch up on last week's show. It is an amazing programme. Trust me, I've seen it. It is a really, really good show. Amazing show. Goes on about it all. It's presented by him. It's really, really good. You've got to download it on the BBC iPlayer, and it's all there. Amazing programme. And you can watch this programme's episode, as I just said, at 8:15 on Sunday evening. Okay, so Smuggles now are trying to cash in on the forthcoming ban of menthol cigarettes. Now, this is by flooding the UK with deadly fake products. Now, illegally menthol capsules and cigarettes have been sized in the past few months, with some virtual reactions containing, acetals, rats, clonings, and dead files. And it was said that there are fears that the ban, which comes in May 20, will double the illicit tobacco trade in the UK. Now, the ban comes after an agreement signed by the UK when it was still a member of the EU, and it is believed that between 1.5 million and 2 million menthol cigarette smokers will be left without the product overnight. There are fears that the sudden change will lead to a massive increase in illegal products flooding into Britain, which already has Europe's biggest problem with illegal tobacco. Now, first we had the coronavirus, now they're banning tobacco now. So menthol smokers represent about 25% of the 111 billion British cigarette market. Now, Dean Glyfferin, General Manager for tobacco giant JTI, said the industrial has been trying to find aggregations and a lesson in the impact of the ban, and new products include the tobacco-free Nordic Spirit, now the nicotine pouches, as well as a menthol flavoured cigarette. Now, Mr. Gillen said that the big issue that we have is we cannot talk directly to the consumer about tobacco products and under UK advertising legalisation. Now, we are, reliant on the trade and to be armed with the knowledge, and that gives to immediate to the consumers what is coming and what are the implications and what are the choices afterwards. Now, we have already had samples provided to us by law enforcement of fake menthol capsule products. Now, okay, so the cigarettes have sized seeds in the UK, and we did the analyses in our labs and found that in their labs, scientists. Let's talk about scientists. They've been doing analyses in their labs, and they found many of the products containing asbestos, and rat droppings, and dead flies. Blimey, ugh, that's disgusting. Can it get any grimmer? Yeah, pretty grim. It's got even grimmer now. Now, obviously, it's dangerous, people. It is dangerous. And a consumer point, I don't smoke. I tell you what, I've never smoked in my life. I don't want to smoke. And it sounds absolutely vile, this does.